I'm Rebecca Noreen, and I play bassoon and contrabassoon. I'm first going to tell you why I decided to play these unusual instruments. I have 4 older brothers, and 3 of them played instruments. 2 of them are twins, and they both played French horn, but they didn't play it all that great, and they missed a lot of notes, and it just sounded really hard. So I didn't want to play any brass instruments. My other brother played clarinet and saxophone, and I thought that was really wonderful. I liked the sound, but I wanted to play something different. So my brother that played French horn used to play a lot of recordings that had French horn in them with the orchestra. And I liked the sound of one of the pieces that he played. It was called the Mozart Symphony Concertant. I liked the sound of one of the instruments. And I said, what is that instrument? I love it. I want to play that. And it was the bassoon. So when it was 6th grade and I needed to pick an instrument, they told me my hands weren't big enough to play the bassoon. So I had to start on clarinet. I had to wait until the 8th grade. But then when I hit the 8th grade, I got to play the bassoon. And I was very happy. So next I'd like to tell you what I do when I practice. Every time before I really start practicing, I need to adjust my reeds. I make my own reeds. They're called double reeds. I take 2 pieces of cane and wrap them together with wire and string. And you can see the contrabassoon reed is much bigger than the bassoon reed. And I wrap them together, and then I adjust them by whittling on them and also adjusting them with pliers, the wires and everything. The next thing that I do that's different than other players is that I have to switch in between bassoon and contrabassoon. So to do that, I have to practice picking up and putting down the instruments, and the contrabassoon is very heavy. So that's something that is a little bit different. The other thing that's different is that when I play contrabassoon, I have to play a lot of long tones. And when I play whole notes, they can last for a very long time. I can play most of the notes on my contrabassoon for about a minute, but the very lowest tones, because when you put the keys down, you really have to fill up the whole thing with air, and it's very big. I can only play those for about 30 seconds. So I'd like to play you some excerpts, some of my favorite ones, of pieces. And the first piece I'd like to play is the Prokofiev Peter and the Wolf. Now the reason this is so much fun is because all the characters in the story of Peter and the Wolf are represented by instruments. So like the oboe is the duck and the clarinet is the cat. Well, the bassoon, I get to be the grandpa. So I get to be grumpy, and I get to tell Peter what to do. And also, the reason I like it is because it starts with low notes, which I like. Grandpa. The next piece I'd like to play for you is the Mozart Piano Concerto number 20. And the reason this is so much fun is because it has a lot of short and bouncy notes in it. And that's very good, fun to play on a double reed instrument. The other reason that I like it is that the piano plays along much like a duet. So it's almost like you're kind of accompanying the piano. Now the next piece I'm going to play is called Scheherazade. 1001 Nights are a collection of ancient tales about Aladdin, Ali Baba, Sinbad, and hundreds more. All the stories are told by Scheherazade, which is what this music is. A clever woman who preserved her life each night by keeping her murderous husband in suspense for the outcome of another tale. The tale she tells that I will play music from is about Prince Kalidar, who is a wandering mystic or magician, and the bassoon is the prince, maybe telling of his travels. So now I'll go to the Contrabassoon, and I'm going to play a piece called Blues for Contra. And it's originally written for contrabassoon and hi-hat. And you're going to help me because you're going to play the hi-hat part. The hi-hat is actually a cymbal played with a drumstick. And we're going to do that by using the palm of our hand and the tip of our other hand, like that. Now this is a swing rhythm, so it's in 3, and it's long, short, long. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So it's like this. Now try that with me. Okay. Now I'm going to be doing it on my lap, but you can't see it because my lap is down here. So you'll hear it, and you can do that rhythm through the whole piece. So this is Blues for Contra, and with hi-hat provided by you. The next one I'm going to play is from Symphony No. 5 by Mahler. I don't play fast notes on contra very much, so it can be a challenge to play fast notes, but this is a lot of fun. During this piece, there's a lot of mayhem going on, at the very end. It's like a village with people running around, and everybody in the orchestra is playing. The triangle's going, the strings are playing, so it's a lot of things happening. So it's a lot of fun to play. The last piece I'm going to play is from Death and Transfiguration by Richard Strauss. This is at the end of the Transfiguration part, and it's when the sun comes out and everything is all better and it's not death anymore, and things are transfigured, the flowers are coming out, and so there needs to have some depth and power to the crescendo that happens at the very end of the whole piece. So that's where the contrabassoon comes in. So bassoon and contrabassoon.